Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's makeup look is going to be this summer inspired pink eyeshadow. So let's just get started. First we're going to prime our eyelids with the Evelyn Iona eyeshadow base, and I am using a Luxie 211 brush just to apply this with to give us a nice even canvas. And excuse my attire today, I just wanted to play with makeup and you know how it goes. And then we're going to set the eyeshadow base with the RCMA No Color Powder, and I'm doing that with the Morphe E8 brush. Also, I did my eyebrows off camera, and I used the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. So our first transition shade is Creme Brulee by Makeup Geek, and I'm using a Morphe E27 brush to apply that in the crease. The next color is going to be Frappe, and I'm going to use the same E27 brush, and I'm just going to layer that right on top of Creme Brulee to give it a little bit of dimension. The next color we're going to use is Coco Bear by Makeup Geek, and I'm going to use a Luxie 205 brush just to apply it in the outer V of the eye. And we're going to use the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the color Cheeky, and I'm just going to apply that all over my lid with my finger. I find that using your fingers as a tool is the best way to apply ColourPop shadows. I definitely prefer it over a synthetic brush. And then we're going to blend it out just to make sure everything meshes. Okay, and then I'm going to use the color Shimma by Makeup Geek, and I'm applying that with a Luxie 227 brush, and we're just going to put that all over our brow bone, just to make it pop. Then I'm going to tightline with the Marc Jacobs Gel Highliner. It's the best eyeliner I've used so far. It doesn't move and it doesn't budge, which I like. And then we're going to use Kat Von D's Tattoo Liner in the color Trooper just to draw our winged liner. I find that using a felt tip liner is probably the best method that I like to do my wing liner with, but of course, whatever you're more comfortable with, go for it. And for our falsies today, we're going to use Koko Lashes in the style Coco. For a primer today, we're going to use Dr. Brandt Pores No More, and I'm just applying that in my problem areas where I have larger pores, which is around my nose, my chin, and my forehead. And today we're going to use Maybelline's Fit Me Matte+Poreless foundation. I'm in the shade 220 Natural Beige, and I'm going for a nice softer foundation coverage. It ends up being kind of more like a light to medium, even though it looks like I'm applying a lot of foundation. But once you blend it out with a beauty blender, it actually kind of shears everything out. So that's why I love using a beauty blender, and especially when I'm trying to keep it nice and natural-ish, giving me a nice canvas to work with. And for concealer, we're going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Medium. And I'm just gonna highlight my under eyes with it, and the bridge of my nose, my forehead, as well as my cupid's bow and chin. And it's just gonna give me a highlight and concealed look. I'm not doing any kind of strong contouring, I'm not gonna do any kind of strong highlighting, but it just gives me that extra brightness that I'm looking for. Okay, and then we're gonna go into the NYX Highlight and Contour Palette, except we're only going to use that banana shade, and I'm going to set my under eyes with that. And I'm gonna use a Morphe E3 brush to achieve this. And I am setting it ever so lightly under the eyes. It looks like I'm pouncing pretty hard, but I'm actually not. I'm using a very light hand so that it doesn't look cakey. And then I'm going to set the rest of my face with the RCMA No Color Powder with a Real Techniques Duo Fiber Face Brush. I prefer not to have my foundation be tacky on my face, so that's why I like to set my face after or before I do any kind of other additional powders. And we're going to use the Milani XL bronzer, and I'm gonna apply that with a Morphe M527 brush, and I'm just gonna warm up the face today with this bronzer. For blush today, we're going to use Benefit's Rockateur, and I'm just applying that with an angled brush. I've had this brush forever. I really don't think it has a name. I bought it at Target like years ago, but it's my favorite blush brush. And we're just going to put that on the apples of our cheeks. And for highlighting, I'm going to use Becca Cosmetics in the color Opal. And I'm using a Morphe M510 brush to achieve this nice glowy finish. For our lower lash line, we're going to use Creme Brulee and Frappe, our transition colors, and I'm using a Crown C476 brush. I find that this is the best brush I like to use for my lower lash line, just because it's super flat, but it's a paddle shape, so it really gets right under the lower lash line really well. And it makes it so easy when you want to do like a super smoky eye under there. So that's why I love this brush for lower lash lines. And then we're going to use the shade Cocoa Bear. I didn't show it, but we use Cocoa Bear to just deepen up that lower lash line, and I'm using a Morphe E24 brush. And to highlight our inner corners, I'm using Ofra Cosmetics with the Dupe That Girls from Instagram collaboration in the color You Glow Girl, just to highlight the inner corners again, like I said. And I'm using a Morphe E36 brush just to give my inner corners a nice little pop. For lips today, we're going to use ColourPop Cosmetics in the Ultra Matte Lips, and that's the color Midi, and this is the original formula. I did buy a bunch that were the original formulas, and then ColourPop reformulated them, I think in 2015 for their winter Christmas collection, and it was a different formula. So this is the original formula. It is a little bit drying, so just make sure you're lips are nice and moisturized beforehand. Okay guys, that completes today's makeup look. I hope you all enjoyed. Leave me some love in the comments down below, and I will see you in my next one.